Welcome, everybody. This is episode 3 of the Underdeveloped podcast. I'm Jay, average game designer, also known as lover of Lego and friend of animals.
Wow. I'm Dylan. I don't have a fancy title, but I do like the odd... like those almost like plastic slices of cheese?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why that came to mind, but there you go. Whatever.
You like plastic cheese.
Yeah. Don't mind the odd slice of that.
I had that on a sandwich today.
Nice, dude. That's great. Anyway.
Alright, so...
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody. So this week on Gamer News, the Nintendo Switch is releasing a new console. It's got an OLED screen, which is the same size as your normal full-size Switch, for $50 more. It'll be released.
I think it's slightly bigger, isn't it?
It's got
inch,
it's got a 7.1 inch screen. So I think I'm holding up my Switch now. I think that's about the same size.
Okay. I heard it was the actual screen part of it is closer to the edges.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just an OLED screen.
It's just an OLED screen, so the colors will look better, and the picture quality might be higher, but the graphics rendering engine inside the Switch can't really keep up with it. So everything's gonna look pretty much the same.
Yeah, and that's in handheld anyway. So you're probably gonna have the glare on it and muddy fingerprints on the screen.
Yeah, not to mention if you scratch.
Not sound worth it.
What happens if you scratch the screen?
Ah, well,
You're just gonna be able to see that scratch more than normal.
Oh, it do be like that. But opposing the OLED, you have the Steam Deck, which everyone seems a lot more keen for.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for it. I want to buy one.
Yeah. Well, it looks great. It's basically a Switch, but it's a computer at the same time, so you can play Steam games. Hopefully the hardware's on par. I don't think we know anything about the hardware yet. But,
I've got it up here. So we've got 64 gig eMMC with a carrying case. This is everything that we're being given.
I assume that's the storage, right?
Yeah, so it'll have 64 gigabytes of storage, but you can also buy a 256 gigabyte NVMe SSD for that incredibly fast storage.
I feel like that's definitely the way to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Seeing as games are 100 gig now.
You've also got the 512 gig.
Ah, good.
So yeah, they partnered with AMD. So the AMD Zen 2 Plus RDNA 2 powerhouse is going to be the processor used. It's been custom made by AMD to support handheld gaming.
Interesting.
It's gonna
be cool.
It's gonna have a dock so you can connect it to your TV, but it's gonna be a lot smaller than the Nintendo Switch dock, which is gigantic.
Oh, that's awesome. No, that was my main concern.
Yeah,
the dock.
The dock's gonna be a lot smaller, and it's gonna have a USB hub on it as well.
Ooh, very nice, very nice.
The official dock will be sold separately.
Oh.
More information coming soon.
Okay, well, hopefully it's just better quality because it's slightly more expensive because the Switch you get everything included.
Yeah.
So hopefully, yeah, you're just getting what you pay for.
Yeah, and with the Steam Deck, you can't take the controllers off. That's one thing that I'm looking at now, because they've got an exclusive preview cinematic video where they show off the console, and there's nowhere for you to take the handles off.
So I assume you have to dig up that dusty old Steam controller with the weird-ass touchpad joysticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of weird Valve history, my main concern with the Steam Deck is they haven't exactly got a good reputation for hardware.
No, they don't.
The controller just had no support from Valve. You basically need community guides to get it to work in general.
Yeah.
The Steam Link that was announced wasn't advertised. It's just chucked in the bargain bin. They're trying to sell it for
Yeah.
$2. Like, just get rid of it. We don't want it anymore. Steambox, the console killer, just overpriced gaming PCs, which weren't worth it.
Yeah, no, they weren't
And,
worth it at all.
Of course, you have the Vive, which has, like, free AAA releases.
Yeah. And how long has the Vive been out for?
Oh, yeah. No, I sold mine the other day.
Did you actually?
Yeah, it wasn't worth it anymore. There's just no games coming out for it. Like, the indie games on it are good, but they are so overshadowed by the amount of absolute dog shit that is on the platform.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Not to mention, because it's VR, the development costs are more, therefore the price of the game is more expensive, so you end up just with like 5 VR games, and 2 of them are good.
Yeah, not to mention you paid like $1,000 for all those 5 games. Like, it's just not worth it.
It's shit. But yeah, like, hopefully it's not just quickly dropped by Steam support, and hopefully that hardware is as good as it sounds.
Hopefully AMD do a good job with designing the processor to be more dedicated to handheld gaming.
Yeah, let's hope so. Like, because on all the advertisements for the Steam Deck, the main game that's like play now on the screen is Control. No fucking way is the Switch running Control. So
yeah,
I'm interested to see where that goes.
Oh.
All right. What else you got?
That's all the news that I've really dug up for this week.
Okay, I got a couple things.
Yeah.
All right. So, have you seen the new Ubisoft game they announced?
Oh, I haven't.
X Defiant. I
let's
wouldn't
have
get
a
too excited.
look.
Yeah. People aren't too excited to see it. It looks like a janky COD so far. Yeah. I mean, we've yet to see much gameplay, so it could be great, but it looks like it should have been announced 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Or released 5 years ago, should I say. But it's just been announced, so it could be good. Who knows?
Is that the
We
big?
shall see.
Is that the big banner they have on their website? Tom Clancy's X Defiant.
Yeah, they're tying it into the Tom Clancy franchise and basically just reusing assets from all of the Tom Clancy games to make maps.
Just let Tom Clancy die. They use that title on everything.
It doesn't mean anything. The guy didn't write like 6 million games before he clocked out.
Like, you watch. They'll have like Tom Clancy on life support with like all these tubes coming out of his brain, just siphoning his knowledge. Just so they can keep milking that title.
Just sign the contract and we can put your name on the game. You don't even have to make it. Just sign the contract.
You don't have to do anything. We just need to use your image, please. We're begging you. This is the only thing keeping your company afloat.
Oh, legit. Alright, so the other thing I had, Games Workshop, the creators of Warhammer, they are actively trying to stop fan animations of Warhammer now.
Really?
Yep.
Why would they do that? It helps hype.
Yeah, you'd think so. But they're bringing out this thing called Warhammer Plus, right? Which is basically Netflix, but you can only watch Warhammer stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a couple other bonuses to it. I don't know too much, but there's a series of animations called Astartes on YouTube, and it is just infinitely better than anything Games Workshop has made in terms of animation. Like, it is crazy how good the quality is, and it's just this one dude who's made it.
Yeah, it's crazy how some of the talent in the community comes out.
Oh, yeah. But fuck that, I guess. Let's make another Netflix.
Yeah, because we all need another streaming service.
Oh, yeah. Like, we didn't have enough.
Nah, what do you mean? We've only got Netflix, Hulu, Stan,
Disney Plus, Amazon Prime
Video, YouTube Prime Video.
Close enough.
Oh, YouTube Prime. YouTube Movies. It's just
all that shit.
We don't need another.
No.
If you want to start your own start your own streaming service, go to Netflix. They buy anything.
Oh yeah, I feel like once Netflix and that started coming out, it was like directly combating piracy because it was just so much more convenient to just pay a couple bucks a month than to actually try and do this piracy shit.
Yeah,
but now it's getting to the point where it's that scattered like TV networks where originally that people were just going to go to piracy again. You're kicking yourself in the foot here.
Not to mention that a lot of the like the new releases that people want to watch, they don't actually come out on Netflix or Stan or whatever for another like 3 months. So people are just going to go to piracy to view them there because they can view it for free and instantly.
Yeah,
like they can
exactly.
You can Google any movie. Like what's a movie that's just come out? The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. I could Google that right now and find 1,000 links that will let me stream it for free. But I cannot find it on a single streaming service.
Some dudes just filmed it and uploaded it to YouTube. Somehow avoided the algorithm.
I wouldn't even be surprised. The algorithm is so dog shit, it forgets and doesn't even counter the shit that actually needs to be taken down, but completely ignores everything and just focuses in on that one guy that said fuck within the first 30 seconds of his video. Because
get rid of him.
Because that guy is destroying the platform.
Absolute menace to society.
Absolute
How
menace,
dare he.
and he needs to be stopped immediately. Which is why we waited 12 minutes.
Immediately. All right, so let's get into the main topics of today's podcasts. Do you want to take it away, Jay?
Alright, so this week we'll be talking about the death of console personality. We'll be talking about how consoles have just kind of become a carbon copy of each other and there's no real variety anymore. They're all basically the same.
Yeah. Like, as a kid, I can just hear it now. Like, I don't even need to like see anything or whatever. I hear that bloody PlayStation 2 startup sound. I hear that PlayStation 1 disc not read sound. It's personality. Where'd it go? Now we have the Switch. Well, yeah, sure. The actual console, the hardware may be a bit more interesting than the other consoles nowadays.
Yeah.
But you go into the UI and it's the most dull thing. It's just bare bones bullshit.
Like the PlayStation...
Make it exciting.
The PlayStation's 3, 4, and 5 UI is literally the same. They are all identical. There is nothing changed besides the background and the music. The layout of the buttons and everything else is the same. And it's so boring. It's so dull. You need a fresh pump of color. You need a video playing in the corner. You need something that gives you attention. It's not just, oh, now I have this game in the disc drive. Cool.
Yeah, like all it takes is a little bit of a jingle as it turns on. Maybe something cool in the background. Like when the PS3 first came out, that was nice. Like that was sleek. It was modern. It had the wavy thing in the background. You're like, wow, this is like good technology. And they really just looked at it and they're like, it ain't broke.
It ain't broke, so we might as well keep using it.
Yeah, let's not fix it. Let's not improve it at all. So the PS4 came out, same thing, just with a little less passion. Didn't even have a jingle.
When did the PlayStation 3 come out? 2009?
Oh, yeah, it was bloody ages ago now.
2009, 2008?
Something like that.
And they haven't changed that since. That's over a decade. I just want you to think about that. And Windows is the biggest culprit of this. Windows haven't changed their UI layout since Windows XP.
Yeah.
That is almost 20 years old. That's over 20 years old now.
Oh yeah. I think the difference with Windows though is no one wants to change it. They all want it exactly the same, right? Which is the difference with consoles, because Windows is like you view it, it's like it's a tool. It's a work thing. I want it to stick to what I know. Whereas games, you want something new, something more exciting, something that's you're gonna pick up and you'd be like, yeah, I'm ready to play some games today, instead of let's look through my library again. Oh, okay. No, don't feel like playing that. I've got so many games, nothing to play. Like, get the player excited.
Yeah.
Like, the original Xbox, you had that cool ass bloody, like, the green goo shit. Like, that was so cool. It's like this. It's almost like. It's like some artist's rendition of what's going on inside the box, and it makes the box seem cool and powerful. Even though it's just like a brick, but.
Yeah.
It's. Put a bit of passion into it. The Xbox One is probably the worst culprit of this, because you turn it on, it's just advertisements in your face.
Yeah, it is.
Like, who the fuck passed that? Who wants to see advertisements as soon as they turn on their console?
Well, that's just Microsoft for you.
Oh yeah, like
they're all
can't get
about
away
them
from
ads.
it nowadays. Advertising rules everything. Advertisers are going for our dreams now. Did you see something about that?
Yeah. Some people want to start trying to put product placement in our dreams. That's such a scummy thing to do.
Oh, it's not gonna happen. But like, holy shit, really?
It's not gonna happen.
Really?
But that's just such a scummy concept. Like, how money hungry do you have to be like, okay, we're not getting enough people buying our product, so we're gonna implant our product into your dreams, and so you see our product on a big banana, right?
Oh yeah.
And then you're gonna go and wake up and go, fuck, I need that banana, and so you go and buy the product.
Yeah.
It's
Some guy somewhere's just got a real hard on for dystopian futures, obviously.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, even the Xbox 360. That was interesting. You turn it on and there's a whoop. It's the animation of the green going into the Xbox logo.
Yeah, that
was cool.
That was heaps cool.
It was a little more exciting on the release version, because they updated it since, and then half the UI's advertisements.
Yeah.
But that was really interesting. That was cool. It kept that like green power theme of the Xbox, and then but it's like a sleek modern white version. It's nice. But nope, throw that away. Here's some rectangles with some ads on it. Xbox One.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Another good example is the Wii. That was interesting. A nice thematic UI. It's like, you're playing this on a TV? We're going to make it like a TV channel thing. It's interesting. It's cool. It's different. You click on the game. It comes up with the jingle for the game. Super Mario Bros. Wee!
Super Mario Bros. Wee!
Even if you just clicked on the the disc thing, and you weren't really feeling playing it, you hear that blare through your speakers, and you're like, all right, I guess they got to play it now. Just a little bit of effort goes a long way.
Just putting that extra step into your UI to set it apart from everything else would definitely make the console more memorable as well. Like,
definitely.
It'll make people want to play your console more. Like, I have a dusty ass PS3 on my desk. I haven't touched that God knows how long. And I don't even remember any really good times that I've ever had playing through the UI or anything. Because I used to spend a lot of time just sort of looking at UI and shit like that. Okay, I was a weird child.
Oh, I did the same thing. Like, I'd go through the settings. I wanted to see absolutely everything there was.
Yeah.
Reading everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I would go through like all of their like privacy policies and pick out all the shit that contradicts itself. By the way, there is a lot. Okay? There is so many things that in privacy policies and terms and conditions that contradict itself.
Oh, no doubt.
So, next time you're signing up for something, I just want you to get out a pencil and paper and then circle or like write down the things that contradict itself. Because you'll find a fair amount.
Look, man, when a privacy policy comes up in my face, I'm not reading that. I could be signing away my life. I'm still not
No
reading it.
No one's gonna care.
You could tell me, sign this. It's going to sign away your life, and I'm not going to read it. I'm going to sign it. Like, I do not want to read that. That's the only reason I'm not reading that fucking 10-page thing. No.
Yeah, some of them are just so bloody long that it's just unreasonable to read them. And that's a tactic to just sort of get you to sign away without actually knowing what you're signing.
Yeah. I like the thing that Steam used to do with it. And they like hide little messages in it.
Yeah.
I think at the end was like, installing this program is not guaranteed to not kill your parents or something. I thought that was funny when I'd like scroll to the bottom once and be like, oh, that's interesting. That's all right. Just, yeah, like little things like that. I can't believe we missed it. The GameCube. I don't even have a GameCube. I've never played a GameCube. That intro is ingrained into my brain.
Yeah. I collect and I store old consoles. I have about $8,000 worth. I have every Nintendo console ever made.
Oh shit.
I have every Nintendo console ever released. I have an original NES. I have a Super NES. I have the N64. But most importantly, I have the GameCube. And I've never once even opened the GameCube. I know it's there and I know everything works, but I've never actually played it. And I have like 5 games for the GameCube, but I've never played it. But talking about UI and things, the first thing that always comes to my mind is the GameCube. Just although that box that's making a G, it's just I can always remember that, and that's the first thing that always comes to my mind.
Oh yeah, I think it's partially because of the meme, right?
Oh,
but,
yeah, for sure.
Like, it wouldn't become a meme if it wasn't so memorable.
Yeah.
Even I haven't touched a Game Boy in something like 16 years, right?
Yeah.
That intro. Brum, ding. Like, I still got it. It's right there.
Yeah.
You know, where that space is stored for, like, actually useful shit? No. Console intros. That's... Don't need the useful shit. The useful shit is console intros.
Alright,
But yeah,
so...
just a bit of a rant.
On the topic of old consoles, I want to talk a little bit about emulation. And how a lot of people think that emulating video games is actually illegal. I just want to clear up some grey areas around that. Okay, so downloading and owning an emulator is legal. There is nothing wrong with that. Making your own ROMs of a game that you have already bought and is no longer accessible, like, say, the playable teaser, things like, what other games? Anything made like 9 years ago or more that's not being sold anymore. That is a grey area. Making your own ROM is a grey area. In some countries it's legal and falls under fair use because you have bought the product, and others it's illegal. Like, okay, when you buy a Nintendo game, it's in the end user license agreement that you cannot create or download a ROM of this game, and that actually falls under copyright. So on Nintendo.com/legal, I've got it up here. So a Nintendo ROM, read-only memory, is the type of chip used in a Nintendo video game cartridge which contains the game's software. Nintendo video game emulators. A Nintendo emulator is a software program that is designed to allow gameplay on a platform that it is not created for. So basically, an emulator will allow you to play Nintendo games on your PC. It'll allow you to play things like the Super Nintendo or the Game Boy on your PC without too much hassle. You'll just have to download the ROM, download the emulator, and then force the emulator to play the ROM. Downloading a ROM, a Nintendo ROM from the internet is also highly illegal. And Nintendo could be sending you a cease and desist. All right, so
it sucks though, really, because we're in such an era of like time limited games, right? There's so many games that just get deleted from online stores now. It's like, oh yeah, I want to go back and play Driver San Francisco. Nah, gone. No way to get it. Good luck. Like, no fucking reason either. It's probably some like copyright thing or something. But good luck playing that. Oh, but if you actually find a way to play and enjoy this thing that you can't even buy anymore, so it's not like piracy is against earnings of the game can't earn anything anymore.
Yeah.
No, that's illegal, you know?
Yeah.
Get fined more than bloody dealing drugs.
Yeah, so in Australia, a violation of copyright can warrant a fine of up to $150,000.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, if Nintendo slaps you with a copyright lawsuit, you're just gonna have to open your mouth and say thanks. Because there's nothing that you can do against, Nintendo.
Yeah.
One of the biggest video game companies in the world. I actually think it's the biggest, but I could be wrong.
I think Pokemon's the biggest franchise.
Mario is the biggest franchise.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep. I thought it was Pokemon too, but no, apparently it's Mario.
I heard somewhere it was like the highest grossing franchise.
It may be the highest grossing, but I think Mario's like got the most downloads and plays as a franchise.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure like everywhere you go, someone will know Mario.
Oh, absolutely. He's an international treasure.
Oh yeah. Like it's just like so weird, like this emulation stuff. Cuz like as our technology progresses, right? You see this even now, like you get a new iPhone, oh, this game isn't playable on your device or whatever. Yeah, good luck, that game's gone now.
Yeah.
You're not playing that again. And sure, you can go and buy a second-hand like iPhone 3 or something if you want to, I guess. But in the field of games, it could be a console from bloody 20, 30 years ago that is like upwards of $2,000 to buy from someone. It's just not worth it. Like, so of course you're gonna download an emulator and you're gonna play the game on there. Like, that's the reasonable thing. That's the way to preserve the game, because no one's gonna play it if it's inaccessible. It's like having a museum and then charging people like $5,000 on entry. Like, no one's gonna see the stuff if the cost is so high.
Yeah. And another thing is, with consoles like the PlayStation 3, for example, they have an inbuilt, what's called a CMOS battery. So the CMOS battery basically just keeps time, and it will keep time until it runs out of power, and then it won't keep time anymore. So when it runs out of battery, and when it stops keeping time, you will not be able to play anything on that console. That console is dead. Even if you replace the CMOS battery afterwards, it will be dead. It will be a brick.
So not even like you could plug in a Game Boy or something nowadays, and you got it on launch day and it works fine. Yeah. But as soon as that like date of the PS3 goes out, it's done.
Yep. And it's the same with the PS4 and the PS5. So in about 10 years' time, almost every PS3 that has not been modified will be a brick. It will be completely unplayable. Like it will refuse to launch any game. It will give you a notice saying the date and time is incorrect. And this is because this is one of PlayStation's ways of preventing people from changing the date on their PlayStation and then downloading content that's already been that's been put up but is being released on a certain day. So if I wanted to download something and if I wanted to buy a game that was being released in 2 weeks from now, and all I had to do was change my clock and then I'd be able to buy it, that's sort of PlayStation's way of saying, no, this game hasn't actually been released yet.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that part's understandable, but holy shit, there should be a fallback after the console's done that it doesn't just become unplayable, right?
I mean, what's the PlayStation 3 can connect to the internet via Wi-Fi. So what the fuck's the issue? It can just check the time via a verified PlayStation server.
Nah,
there is no issue with
hard.
that. All they have to do is literally have a server online with the current time. And that's it. And then your PlayStation will just connect to that automatically to verify the time. And that just automatically makes the CMOS battery completely irrelevant.
I assume that's still in most things nowadays, right?
Yeah, they're in pretty much any electronics nowadays. But the thing is with say if the CMOS battery in my Samsung S20, if that died, it will still be able to verify the time via the internet, because Samsung has set it up where it also verifies time via internet instead of just internal clock.
Yeah, today's day and age, you're going to be connected to the internet 24/7 anyway.
Yeah, there's almost no place in Australia where you will not have internet at all. There are some
maybe in the middle of the desert, but
I mean, in the middle of the desert, yeah,
but
I can.
Who's going to be out there?
But how many people actually live there?
It's probably surprising.
Yeah, something tells me there's actually an overwhelming majority of people living in the deserts of Australia.
Just vibing, it's part of the way of life.
Yeah, they're just living in fucking Marble Bar, hottest place in the hottest town in the world.
Oh yeah, why not? It's good for the pores. You sweat everything out.
Yeah.
Never get cold.
Yeah, you never get cold. The
The
average temperature in Marble Bar is 30 degrees.
Shit.
It's fucking hot.
And that's Celsius, by the way.
That's Celsius, so
whatever conversion that is, it hurts. That's like a scorching day in the UK.
So if we do 30 degrees Celsius, it's 86 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the average year round. So from January 1st to December 31st, the average temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. The
Jeez.
average temperature in summer, I think for 2015, was 42. So that's 107.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yikes. And that's not even counting the spikes where it goes up to 50 something, 60. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the hottest temperature ever recorded in Australia is, I believe it's 61 degrees Celsius, which is 141.8 Fahrenheit.
Oof. I mean, out there, there's actual towns which is underground, isn't there?
Yeah, that's Coober Pedy.
Yeah.
The world's foremost opal mining town.
It's 2 hours, so let's just go underground.
It's too hot, so let's just live in a hole.
Yeah. Hell yeah, they're doing the Minecraft, night 1 strat.
Yeah.
Block
Except
yourself in a
they don't
hole.
have a green top because, there's nothing green out there.
Yeah, they need the green top, dude. But yeah,
Getting back to
get back to the topic.
emulators.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna say like you should use emulators, like, because of course it's, it's illegal or whatever. But
It's yeah.
no one's gonna know if you. I'm gonna stop there, but
Yeah, don't get
But,
people into trouble.
yeah, I think it's pretty ethical, like, because they're not gonna be losing any money. The game's already like 20, 30 years old. They're earning nothing from it. They Like, the only reason Nintendo cracks down so hard on it is because they can still use it as a selling point. Like, buy our Nintendo Switch Online and you'll have access to this catalog of old games. That sounds good, but when you play it, they're like, it's like Wii Tennis, but you're playing it with just a couple pixels and pressing A to hit. Like,
Yeah, and
yikes.
actually the Switch does have, I think it's like 60 games that were for the Super Nintendo. That if you have Nintendo Online, which is fucking expensive, might I add. It is more expensive than Netflix. And
Yeah, it just shouldn't be a thing. Like, why are we paying for online when we've already paid for $400, $500 for the console? And with a Switch, none of the games ever go below like $60.
yeah,
Like the AAA titles, at least. Like, their prices do not move, and they are like more expensive than the other like consoles games.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
don't need
It's just,
us to subscribe for online. It's the same with PlayStation. Like,
yeah,
I've
why
had
why do you need PlayStation Online to go play an online PlayStation match?
people are just gonna find ways around it. Like, it's gonna be like 4 or 5 people using one account for the online or something like that. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's possible, but you do these
I don't
things,
know.
people are gonna find ways around it.
Like, especially people who are good with computers. Like, they're gonna hook their Nintendo Switch up to their computer, and they're gonna hack it so they don't have to pay for Nintendo Online. But in the code, it'll say you still have Nintendo Online, but the payment has never been processed. So they're just gonna hack it and get Nintendo Online for free.
Oh yeah.
There's little to nothing stopping them from doing that, and I don't actually know if that's possible. I'm just speculating at this point. Because that's what people used to do for PlayStation 3 and 4. They used to jailbreak their PlayStation 3 and 4 and get online services for free.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me.
I myself have never done that. I've never gone through the effort. I am too busy eating
No, I'm too
slices of
stupid
cheese
for it.
and scratching my ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doing the
good stuff.
important things.
Yeah.
Who needs
Yeah.
Nintendo Online for free when I have an itchy butt? Come on.
Like, I completely understand the emulation thing when it comes to like modern games. Like, if you install a Switch emulator and you're downloading Switch games on that, yeah, I can see how Nintendo wouldn't be too happy about that. But games that are like 20 years old, come on, man, it's history.
I think emulating any game that's no longer in regulation, like PT or
Oh yeah,
anything.
yeah, we'll never see that again.
Yeah, we'll never see PT again because Konami took it down, and now you can't get it anywhere. The easiest way you could get it is on an emulator. The only actual proof that we have that it exists anymore is the fact that people did YouTube videos of it. Because you won't be able to find it at all.
If you ever want to experience that, good luck. Like, it's not happening. And that's the reason, like, we need to keep this like backlog of emulators and stuff so that we can access this, like, these pieces of history. Really, people slaved over years making these things. Hundreds of people for some of them. It's like putting a price tag on the Mona Lisa to see it. Like, you Google images Mona Lisa. Oh, sorry, you have to pay $20 to actually see this.
Yeah, it's
It's
contributing
ridiculous.
to the death of video games.
Oh yeah.
Like, when all of the say all of the GameCubes are broken and they no longer work, every single game that was ever made for the GameCube is now lost forever. There is no legal way to play those. And like, I'm just gonna do a rough Google search. How many games were there for the GameCube? And there's 653 official games on that list.
Yeah, and you can probably physically only like get without spending all your time doing it. Probably 10 to 15 of those games, right? It'll be all the first party Nintendo stuff.
Yeah,
mainly.
There's you're never going to see Nintendo release a new game for the GameCube. That's just not going to happen. So emulating a game that is never going to be released again, is never going to be able to be experienced again, is making sure that that game can be relived for future generations. Because when I get old, I do want to play through some of the old games. Like, I have an original Atari, for God's sake. If that thing breaks, I still want to be able to play the original Pong. I still want to play Galaga, Asteroids, Pole Position, Planet Patrol. I'm reading the cartridges that I have on my desk. Combat, Galaxian. I can't read that one, the label's been ripped. I think it's River Raid. But all these games will be lost forever, and this took a team of at least 5 to 10 people, thousands of hours to create. And all their hard work, their entire legacy is just going to be forgotten because Nintendo are too stingy to allow people to let their video games live forever.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
But yeah, Nintendo just does not like fun.
Nintendo don't like their player base.
There was that thing a while ago where they were just taking down people who made videos on Nintendo games left, right, and center on YouTube. This is half your advertising, man. What are you doing?
Playing a Nintendo game on YouTube, back in, what was it, 2018, 2017? It would have gotten the video taken down for copyright infringement.
That's ridiculous.
Why? That's three-quarters of your entertainment. That's three-quarters of your audience.
Of course they have the rights to do it. But no one in their right mind would do it. Anyone could take down their games on YouTube, but they don't because it's advertising. Bruh, what are you not seeing?
Could you imagine? Could you imagine how little advertising Call of Duty would have gotten if they copyright struck everyone that uploaded something onto YouTube?
Oh yeah,
it wouldn't be a franchise anymore.
As soon as the YouTube thing happened, Minecraft owes probably 90% of its success to YouTube. COD, shitload. There's so many games which just wouldn't exist if it wasn't for people making videos on them.
Let's go back to the Minecraft thing. Minecraft got 90% of its publicity from the Yogscast initially. The Yogscast made initial games.
That was the main one, yeah.
They made games on, they made videos on it, and then people like Seth Bling would show you the Redstone side, and then you had people like Captain Sparkles, the Bajan Canadian. All these other people started making their own takes on it and their own videos. If all of those were all copyright stricken and taken down, Minecraft would not exist. It would have been left to the dust because there was no one even knew about it. No one knew about the game.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So
I hadn't heard of it until I saw somebody, it was CNNers or something pop up. I'm whoa, this is kind of cool. I should download it.
I just don't understand, because Sony actually lost a lawsuit in the USA of someone making a PlayStation 2 emulator. They made a PlayStation 2 emulator, and then they made their own ROMs. They didn't share them. They made their own ROMs, and they were emulating PlayStation 2 games on their computer. And they were making YouTube videos of it, and Sony saw it and took them to court for copyright infringement. And the copyright infringement that they said was that they were creating and distributing illegal copies of their product, which is fair enough, because that's exactly what he was doing. He wasn't distributing, but he was creating an illegal copy. So I can understand why big companies are like, no, we don't want people emulating our games. But again, they lost that lawsuit, and it eventually came under fair use. I don't know the extent. You can go to Some Ordinary Gamers. He released a video like 6 days ago.
So what point is it like the same thing where you, like, say you bought a song on iTunes and then you copy it over to your phone or whatever?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you still bought the song. Like, you're
creating
putting it on something else. You're doing it out of your own effort, your own work to make that copy. And it's something as simple as dragging and dropping, right? That's technically making a copy.
Yeah.
But, what are you going to do? Like, you can't stop people. People are just going to do shit. You just got to make better alternatives. It's more convenient stuff. And that's one thing where the Switch Online thing is good, because that's way more convenient than some emulator on your computer. It's handheld. It's convenient. I said that twice. But it's accessible anywhere. You can go on the bus. Oh, yeah. I want to go play bloody Contra or something. Who knows? But, like, that's cool. It's like the Netflix thing. You're going to gravitate towards that because it's more convenient. That's how you solve it. You just outsmart them. You make it more convenient. But, it's a bit easier making a lawsuit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Moving on from this topic that we both get heated over because we don't... we hate the big companies dislike us wanting to make sure their games can be played in the future.
Yeah, it's preserving history, really.
Yeah. Like, I understand why they don't want us creating emulators for their games, but at the same time, like, from a game design perspective, I would want someone to create an emulator for my game so that if the console that it's made for dies, someone can still play it in the future. I don't want all my hard work
legacy just
to be just
away.
Lost for time.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, okay, I think that's that.
Yep.
You got anything else on your notes there?
We've covered that pretty well. If you want to learn more about emulators and the legality of it, Some Ordinary Gamers made a video 6 days ago, as of today, called Why I'm Not Going to Prison for Emulating Games, or something like that. And he goes into detail. It's about a 20-minute video where he goes into detail about the legality of it and his take on it, which is pretty similar to ours. He thinks that you should be able to emulate games that are no longer in their lifetime. So definitely check that out. It'll be in the description of the YouTube video, along with the nintendo.com.au/legal. The ROMs and stuff are pretty much directly at the bottom, so that will also be included in the description if you want to read further on that.
All right. Okay, well, unless you have any other topics, I've got one that we could go on to.
I've pretty much covered mine. I mean, that topic lasted, like, nearly 30 minutes, so...
we went on a rant there.
Yeah, we went on a whole bunch of tangents.
All right, so, yeah, this is a quick one, I assume. I was thinking the other day, there's a lot of games which I find really memorable due to their concept, not their execution. Like, the execution could be absolute dog shit of the game, but the concept is what makes it memorable. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, DayZ Standalone. Like, that's a lot of fun. A lot of people will say it's good because, yes, it has updated and it's a lot better now. But back in the day when I played it, it was pretty rough. The game was just unforgiving. It was just unfair at times. There's a lot of broken shit. It wasn't great. But the concept of it, the premise, was what kept you playing. It's just this like the social interaction. It's almost like a study of how people would act if they had like every moment of that game is just such a high risk, high reward thing, right? It's just a study of how people would react in a world that's constantly like that, and that's what's really interesting. But yeah. Dog shit development will it eats away at that, but obviously not enough. Do you have any games like that, Jay?
Games that I kind of have stuff like that, like games that succeeded due to the concept is Cyberpunk, but the execution was absolutely fucking horrible.
Oh yeah.
They definitely could have done 1,000 times better with that. But
let's not go into that too much because we've spent the last 2 podcasts talking about Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I see what you mean. Like the world was so interesting. It just sucks
the
that
concept,
taking in it wasn't the best.
Yeah. The concept was incredibly good, and given the right budget, it would have been absolutely fucking amazing. And people would be playing it probably for longer than GTA 5 if the execution had been done correctly. And if they had an online feature, then people would be playing that over GTA 5.
Oh yeah.
I would be pretty confident in saying that.
No,
but
if it was true to its concept, that'd be a banger.
Yeah, absolutely. But other games that were succeeded in concept but were really bad in execution, I found Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. Okay.
Yeah. Like the concept was really interesting, but actually playing the game, I found myself forcing myself to like it. Like
okay.
I was trying to.
That's fair enough.
It just didn't seem interesting to me. However, the concept was really interesting.
There's only so much walking one man can do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely get that. I fucking love the game, but I can understand why people did not enjoy it.
Post-apocalyptic package delivery simulator.
That's interesting.
Oh boy.
Like, actually delivering the packages. Not exactly what I want to do. But another game like that was another game that's like because of its concept was PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Oh yeah.
And I think this was the case for a lot of people because the actual execution of the game, it was janky as fuck. Like it ran like dog shit. It crashed a lot. The servers just did not have a good time. The game looked like ass half the time. It was a rough time. Like so people with really good rigs would be running it on low graphics just because that's the only way it's tolerable.
Yeah.
And holy shit, do I have so many memories of that game. It's one of my highest played games on Steam. It's just like the case where the concept is just so good. It just the poor actual execution just gets like taken away because the concept takes over. And same with DayZ, like a ridiculous amount of memories there.
Yeah, I think the concept of PUBG was actually executed fairly well by Fortnite. And that's how they attributed a lot of their success. That's
entirely how it worked because they saw this really good concept and they're like, "Hey, let's actually make this good."
Yeah, and then they
there
did.
You go.
And in their peak, they were making what was it like $10 million a day?
Oh yeah, like say what you want about Fortnite, but it's popular for a reason. Like people like it. I don't play a lot myself. I barely play it. I touched it once in like a year the other day. But, you know, you got to admit, like, it's super well polished. It's really well done. Like, they didn't cut corners with Fortnite.
They definitely didn't.
They're coming up with the concept, of course. They just took it. But
yeah, they stole the concept, but
That's every battle royale game.
Yeah.
Can't really be helped now.
Another game that succeeded in concept was the original E.T. game for the Atari.
E.T.
E.T.
Yeah?
It was the worst-selling game of all time.
Yikes.
They marketed it so much and people were so hyped for it that they forgot to actually make the game. So they paid one programmer so much overtime that he was able to retire to make this absolutely dog shit piece of shit game that ended up selling so badly that Atari bought every single copy and buried them in the desert.
That's so fucking funny. Like,
They
that
were
ashamed
so
of it.
ashamed of it that they had to send it to the fucking desert.
Just send it to the Shadow Realm. Don't want to see that shit ever again.
They fucking banished it to the Shadow Realm like nothing on Earth.
Surely someone like digs that up one day and, you know, they're now like a billionaire because just one of these cartridges is worth so much nowadays.
Let's have a look because I think I remember someone or some company digging them up and redistributing them.
Oh, it was probably the company that buried it. They're like, oh, yeah, we can cash in on it now. Woo! Wouldn't be surprised.
Alright, so let's see how much the cartridge price is. E.T. the extraterrestrial cartridge price. $499.
Well, there you go.
US.
That's like... What?
That's more expensive than the new Nintendo Switch by $100 US.
Jesus. They wouldn't have sold the games for more than $40 back in that day, right?
They were being sold for $15.
Fuck. All right.
And they
So
did
it's like-
so poorly that everyone returned them and then they buried them.
Well,
And now
whoever
it's
found
the
them's
rarest
kicking it.
it's the rarest game on Earth.
God. It's surprising, like, how, like, the value just comes out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
My mate was telling me the other day, like, the original, like, packages for, like, Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Pearl, all that, they go for, like, $100 each now.
Oh, I might cash in on that. I have
Yeah.
I have an original Pokemon Silver and Gold.
I have an original Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. But if that's the original, like, Silver and Gold, like, I think they have, like, the holographic stuff on them. I'm not sure about Silver and Gold.
They could.
But that's probably even more expensive because it's older. Have a look. See how much that goes for. But yeah, I'm considering selling my because I bought all free back in the day. I'm considering selling it and just getting that money back. Tripling, probably quadrupling what I paid for them.
Yeah, that's one way to make a profit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like no, definitely, like there's so many games out there that, you know, I have so many memories of just because they're so janky.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I could spend hours talking about my stories on DayZ. You know, the 90% of that game's a walking simulator, right? But,
yeah, it is.
you know, I could go on and on about that one dude that we shot in the back of the head, and we just kept finding more and more stuff. And the other time where I used my friends as a bullet shield and ran away, and then the camping trip where we, like, hunted down our mate and then ate him. That was great. That was a good time. You know, like, I have so many stories from these games, but, like, it's just from the really, like, brilliant releases, I couldn't really say much. So I think that's really interesting. Like, you can find these really poorly executed games, and you get way more stories and, like, valuable experiences out of them
Yeah.
than some AAA thing. You know, of course, it depends. Like, they're not all bad games. You're gonna have a good time with. It's just, yeah, it's interesting. There's a few of them.
And another thing that pairs with bad games is bad movies.
Oh,
Like I
Yeah.
find bad movies so much more enjoyable than bad games. Because
Yeah.
like a bad movie, like Predator Dark Ages, If no one's seen that, it is an absolutely god-awful movie. It's a short film. It's only about 27 minutes long.
Right.
And it's about Predator, but in, like, the medieval ages.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
It's so fucking bad. And
Oh.
you remember Predator, like, in the original movie, how he had, like, his shoulder-mounted cannon. He was just fucking blitzing everyone.
Yeah.
In this, that's not the case. And some people say, oh, yeah, it's because of the Predator's honor or whatever. What honor did Predator have by shooting some guy in the forehead while he was shaving? Where is the honor in that?
Dude,
There
it's the
is
hunt,
none.
right? It's the hunt.
It's the
whole
hunt
thing.
that gets you. No.
Oh, the one I really enjoyed was Willy's Wonderland. Like, that's, you know, the Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff with Nicolas Cage?
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. Like, that is so terrible. It's funny.
I heard of it, but I've never actually watched it. So what
Oh.
give us a quick synopsis.
It's obviously Five Nights at Freddy's. It's trying to be Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
But they try and make this, like, badass John Wick character out of Nicolas Cage, but he has no voice lines. And
Okay.
he has some sort of, like, OCD or something, where he has to, like, every 15 minutes, he has to go off, play pinball, have a soda. This happens during fights. He'll be able to, like, he'll be about to, like, stick something in the face and be like, oh, my watch is going off, I gotta go play pinball. And he'll go do it. Like, he's fighting with some girl to, like, save her life. About to finish it off. Oh, pinball time. Walks off. Leaves her with it.
Yes. Finally, I can have
Like-
my well-earned slice of pizza and my
Yeah,
pinball.
like, I feel like it's intentionally bad, but they actually did it in a good way, I reckon.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Like some hilariously bad movies that a lot of people actually find way more enjoyable. Like, what about... Did you ever watch Disaster Movie?
Disaster movie.
Yep.
I don't think so. That's not the one with The Rock, is it?
No.
Okay.
Disaster... Oh, it might have The Rock in it. I don't know. It's about 1,000 different movies. They're all smashed together. Like, it's Armageddon. It's got Charlie Sheen. It's got Kung Fu Panda. It's got like 1,000 different movies all smashed together.
So it's
And
like
Armageddon.
a disaster version of, like, Scary Movie or whatever, where it's just an
Yeah.
absolute piss take on the genre.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I
Like,
haven't seen
they
that, but
were-
that sounds great.
They were trying to have a shit movie, and that's why it's so good. I absolutely love it, but not for the reason that it's a good movie. It's a horrible movie. The plot is terrible. The acting is hilarious. The writing direction. They've got a song at the end where everyone's fucking everyone. Like,
Oh, yeah.
this guy, he gets... So the whole plot is this guy and his female companion love each other, and now they're going through Armageddon thinking, oh, we might as well not bother with anything because we're all going to die. And
Right.
then someone saves the world. Some big guy fights Kung Fu Panda because Kung Fu Panda's evil.
Righto.
And then, right at the end of the movie, this guy pulls out a guitar, like, while he's in bed. And he starts playing the guitar. And he goes, I'm sorry, babe, but I'm dating Matt Damon. And it's like, what? Where did
There's no
Matt Damon
context for
come
that?
from? There was no context at all. Just, I'm dating Matt Damon. And his girlfriend
Well-
goes, well, I'm dating Hannah Montana. And you see,
Well.
like, a budget Hannah Montana. Like, it's not actually Miley Cyrus acting. It's some like body double that doesn't even look remotely similar to her.
It's like, oh, you're blonde. That's close enough.
Yeah. And then they have this whole like scene where everyone's dating everyone.
It's like, sounds like the end of Sausage Party.
I never actually saw that.
Don't. Oh my god.
It's a bad movie that's just bad.
Yeah. I mean, I found it funny when I was like 16. I think if I watched it now, it would just hurt.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right. Well, do we want to wrap it up? We've
Yeah,
gone far off the topic of games now. But
Yeah, we'll give this episode a wrap. If you liked it, then follow the podcast for more episodes weekly. We
chuck
release
us a
them.
cheeky subby on YouTube.
Yeah, chuck us a sub on YouTube. If you have any questions, comments, or queries, post them in the comments of the YouTube channel, or you can always email us at the underdeveloped podcast at gmail.com.
Hell yeah. All right. Where can they find you, Jay?
They can find me on twitter.com/Hepix. That's HEPIX01. Now, where can they
Hell
find
yeah.
you, Dol?
Well, they can find me on Twitter at Dolzo_. And that's not the word underscore, that's the symbol. And same for YouTube, but without the underscore.
YouTube.com/C/Dolzo.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one. He's got the link.
Ooh.
Look at
All right.
All right. Well,
thank you for listening,
thanks so
everyone.
much for watching.
And we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Have a good one, boys. Catch you later.